You want to sit down?
Yeah, because the live is like an hour. I can't be standing up that long. We can do it. You see Elsie's beautiful art in the back. Boom. It's such a beautiful day today in Fisherman's Wharf. I thought it was gonna be cold today, but no, it's actually really good. Prairie the platypus.
It's a bird. You gotta put seal.
Oh, you're right. What is that?
A tree.
Where should I put the seal? How do you draw seal?
A circle, 2 ovals, some more ovals.
That looks more like a whale than a seal.
Because seals are fat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh no. Oh my god, David told you that you thought he looked like Shrek.
I'm already live.
Did I say that?
No, but he just said it. I
How
was
would you
like,
say that?
because you didn't want to tell him that he thought he looked like one. Okay, I'm just waiting for Chrissy to come, so let me see where I can sit right here. Well, Chrissy's not gonna show up. You know, fuck this shit. We're live. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, let me see. See how we... Okay. Ooh. Hi there, welcome back. So today we're on our live. It's BDDNA Vlogs and
The real life plug. Oh, and today we're gonna be talking about how to prepare for a Travel CNA interview or an interview with a recruiter for a Travel CNA position.
so usually you get interviews with your recruiter. Then after your recruiter, you get interviews with every facility you apply to. So there's a right way and a wrong way. I remember my first interview, I totally failed it. They did not give me the assignment.
For real?
Yeah, they did not give it to me.
Oh, I never interviewed for an assignment and didn't get it.
Oh, I only interviewed like 3 times out of like the 7-8 contracts that I did, because the other ones they just accepted me right away because they saw my resume.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was like literally perfect, and the reviews from the other facilities. So
Well, that's lit because I've had to interview for every single contract I've had, and even though I was with the same company, I still had to interview with the actual facility after, they reviewed my credentials and things like that.
Really?
Mhm.
I only interviewed like 2-3 times.
But,
My reviews were really good. So they would make me train their CNAs. They'd make me take care of their students too.
yeah, that's one thing I was never with the half of was training like their employees because you're not paying me extra to do this. So
Yeah, no.
if I worked in a facility, they would be paying me extra to train somebody. So I just was not with the half of training nobody.
They're like, can they shadow you? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. I would like to do it because I would cut the load in like half. So I would be like, hey, can you do these people? I would give them the easy people and I would do the hard people. So it like made my night go a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I like training.
Okay.
So it made my night a little bit faster. So I didn't really mind it. But they would always put me to train because they had their CNAs, but they would never make their CNAs train. So I was like, is it because I'm better than them? Or just that they don't want to pay extra?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a hard worker, period. So I always felt honored when somebody would ask me to like train their staff. But after a while, it just became too much. Like, okay, now you gotta follow me to all my hiding spots, and you be following me around all night. I can't do what I want to do. I gotta show you how it's supposed to be done. And then if I don't, then they're gonna start watching me to see how I do my job because you ain't doing it the way. Like, it's just.
The students, oh my god, the students were the worst. Because when you have students, you actually have to do everything by the book. Because then they're like, oh, well, the teacher says you can't do that. You're right. Okay, well, let me go get the gate belt. Every facility, they're like, every resident needs a gate belt in their room. But you would be like, hey, where are the gate belts? Oh, we don't have any. We need to order some. If every resident needs to have a gate belt, obviously I'm not gonna go out to the store and buy it. You need to give me one to give it to them.
Oh, or the facilities that are like, this is a no lift facility, but you still gotta lift people. I be like, huh? Like I don't understand. They're like, oh well, everybody is a 2-person assist. It's mandatory, but then it takes people 30 minutes to come in the room and help me do somebody. I could just, no.
Every time I knew a resident would stand and pivot for me, that's when I would just stand and pivot them.
Okay.
So yeah, working at different facilities. I never had to work at a no lift facility.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very annoying. They try to write you up a lot, but like I always tell you, you cover your ass when you're in the facility and you take notes. So I will always have like a little notepad or something. Oh, this is not that shirt. But usually that top pocket right there, or like on my scrub pants, ask nurse to assist with bed change at 10:32 a.m. Refused. I would keep notes on the nurses because y'all not about to put me on the DNR or the do not return list, and this was something that was completely out of my control.
It's something that I couldn't control. Because some nurses will tell you, no, I had a supervisor. So I had to do this one thing with a resident that he got knee surgery. So they had this one machine where you had to put it on his leg and it would like help it move its knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to use it. So I went up to the supervisor because my nurse was busy. And I went up to her and I was like, hey, well, my nurse is busy. Can you teach me how to put this on my resident? She's like, no, straight up told me no. And I was like, well, it's only gonna take you like 5 minutes. No, wait for your nurse to be free. I was like, it's freaking like 7:30. He wants to go to bed soon. Just help me. She was so mean to me. And I remember one time she yelled at me. She was like, Sylvia, you can't be doing that. I'm sorry, this resident's falling off the chair. I'm trying to hold him up. I'm calling you for help, but you're mad because I'm gonna hurt my back. Instead of just getting up and helping me. And she would yell at me and stuff. And I was like, this lady's just not it.
Or you know what I would do if I ask, like if I'm working 3 to 11, 3 to 11 is for going to bed. So if I'm asking somebody for help with a patient or a resident and they don't help me, I leave them up. And then when I come into work the next day to this beautiful glorious, right up. Nobody wanted to help me. This is a no-lift facility.
Mhm.
What you want me to do?
Some nurses think they're too good. Yes, I work in a nursing home and they do this all the time. Yes, all nursing homes. I don't know what's wrong with nurses that don't want to help. Like, some CNAs do this, especially help, please. You get a no straight up. Yes, I have CNAs that tell me no. And then they get mad. They get mad when I don't want to help them. I'm like, I have my resident to put to bed. They're like, oh, well, you can put your resident later. No, he wants to go to bed right now. You can freshen up Mr. Roger, like the top part, and put his gown on, and I'll just be in there to help you transfer. Because that's what I would do. I would have like all my residents dressed in their chair, and then I would go get my help. I'll be like, okay, so they're dressed. I just need to put them in bed.
That's smart. That's definitely smart.
Yeah, so it was a lot easier and no arguing and stuff.
You got 2 comments?
Because some nurses think they're too good because they had more education than a CNA. But some nurses are really stupid. I have.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I told a nurse once. So one of my residents, she fell. She hit her head. So I was like, okay. So I went and got the nurse, and the nurse just did a bandage. And I was like, hey, she does not look good. And I got the other nurse, and the other nurse was like, her neurals aren't right. We have to send her to the hospital. And the nurse that was working that hall, she was like, okay, y'all send her. Never sent her. Later that night, she had like 7 seizures and died. So some nurses are really stupid. Be thinking that they're better than us. Exactly, some are ignorant and don't care. Especially like the old people.
Yes, no, for real. So this one night, well, I'm gonna just start it like this. The resident is okay now. But this was one of those super alert and oriented residents, like could tell you everybody's business, how many kids they got, how many times they done quit and came back, like all the DONs the past 5 years. Like she was one of them. Her Pepsis, Mountain Dews, like a very meticulous resident. Yes. So this one night, this nurse, the same nurse that was on duty the night that I got assaulted and didn't do nothing about it, same nurse there, her big fat ass didn't do shit. I went in the room right after she gave her medicine. I said, hey, Miss So-and-so, are you okay? She like, yeah. I was like, Miss Nurse Lady, come back. Something wrong with her. You ain't give her all her medicine. Something is wrong. She like, oh no, she okay. She get like that sometimes. I've been here for 6 months. 6 months. I have never seen this lady like this before, and I have worked every shift at this facility. I have worked 8, 4s, 12s, 16s, 18s. I know this lady. Something is wrong with her. So I'm like, all right, Miss, sorry, say her name. I'm gonna get in trouble. I was like, all right, Miss Lady, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get the other nurse, and I put like a little cold compress on her head. From the time I left her room to the time I came back, and it's like she couldn't get out the bed on her own or anything like that. She was in her wheelchair. She put herself in her wheelchair. Like she hadn't been to physical therapy in months, like 3 months. She knew something was wrong with her body, and she put herself in the wheelchair and started going to look for the other nurse. And she like, what are you doing out the bed? Not what's wrong. This lady is in the stages of having a stroke. You know how to identify a stroke, right? Yeah. Like when you can't put the arms out and they're not balanced right, or like their face is droopy, and what's the other one, like slurred speech, headache, and stuff like that. So she's exhibiting all the signs of having a stroke. And this fat ass nurse is just chilling on her cart watching Facebook Live. Y'all, I tell you, I was so mad. I was so mad because something could have been done. Like this was a whole 20-minute process. It's last rounds. You would think all the nurses gonna be on the floor passing medicine. No. On a cart, watching live, eating snacks at the nurse's station, taking a nap in the bathroom, like.
Damn.
But she's okay though. But some nurses are very stupid and lazy.
I remember when I used to work in Colorado, I really liked my nurses. Like I had 3 that I really liked. They were amazing. They would always help. Had one that was like 4, she was probably like 5 feet tall, max. And she was small, So I had like the really heavy residents. So I would be like, okay, I'll pull, you push, and you wipe. Like you do all the other stuff while I'm holding them. Cause I'm stronger. She'd be like, yeah, I can't hold the residents because she was so small.
Yes.
And then I had this other nurse. She was like a year older than me or two. And she was very helpful. I really liked her. And then this other one, she was like in her 40s. She was really nice. She would always come and gossip with me over like random stuff. And I'd be like, yeah. So I really like them.
For sure.
But I usually do when I go to like assignments, I make really good relationship with other CNAs. We like usually go and get our nails done, pedicures.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we usually go do. Like we'll be talking, oh, well we can't have our nails done, but we can have our toes done. And I'll be like, oh yeah, you guys want to come? We can go get our pedicures. And it was like 50-year-old CNAs.
Oh.
They're like the older ones. So we would go get pedicures and stuff. You would see like a little group of us going.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and then we would go get our hair done and stuff. So I made really good relationships with everybody there. We would go out all the time.
When I was in Pennsylvania / Ohio, I was talking to them yesterday. So one of the families that traveled on the assignment as well, we got really close. I ended up staying with them for a little bit and everything. And me and the wife, we would go get our nails and stuff done with each other. And then me and her husband, we were super, super cool. Like, that is my brody, you feel me? Like, we would be in the studio at night, listening to beach, smoking and shit. They're like freestyling, like, it would be so lit. And the other lady, she would let me drive her car because I didn't have a car in Pennsylvania at the time. So she would let me drive her car, go to the grocery store and stuff like that. And she would pick up my shift. Like, she usually worked days and I worked nights, so she would switch with me so I could go to the store before they closed. Like, it was super nice.
Really? Yeah, so she asked, where did y'all get your CNA certification? I got mine when I was a senior in high school because they offered a program in the community college and the school would pay for it, so I took it. Where'd you get yours?
I got mine at Old Dominion Job Corps, gang, that's my gang. But no, I went through the Job Corps program to obtain my CNA license.
Let's see. I'm from Texas and currently doing my prereqs for a BSN program. Oh, look at you!
Yes, ma'am. You got this. Don't give up. Keep pushing. If it's what you really want, you got it, for real.
I heard CNA rates are dropping. Is that true?
Y'all want to get into the tea real early. Okay, so it's like up and down. It depends on the state. It depends on your state representatives. It depends. It's a lot right now because it's not really set in stone. When y'all say dropping, it's because y'all are used to the extremely high COVID rates. Travel rates are now going back to what they used to be before, which is why Travel CNA wasn't really popping before, because CNAs felt like, why am I leaving home traveling to Modesto, California from Baltimore just to say I went to Cali when I can make the same money at home? Well, that's what being a traveler is about. You could do it at home, but it's about getting the experience and things like that. So rates are going back to what they used to be. They're not dropping. They're going back to their normal rates. A lot of these companies price gouged a lot during the pandemic as far as billing the hospitals and things like that. And a lot of these companies and agencies are actually under review. They're being audited by the IRS. Like, it's becoming a big thing. So some of those higher rates that you're used to seeing, you're not going to see anymore because they are returning to their normal rates.
Yeah, so it depends.
And it does depend. Like, it depends on what state you're in. There might be a cap on the agency, how much the agency is able to pay you per hour. It just depends. It's still very much up in the air right now, though.
Yeah, it's still dependent. But once you start traveling, you can up your pay. That's what I would do. When they would ask me to extend, I'd be like, okay, pay me $2 more. I wouldn't be like, pay me $10 more. I'll be like, pay me $2 more and I'll extend.
And then another, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Some of them would, some of the facilities would, and some of them wouldn't. let me see. Oh my god, I just had a Job Corp interview to get into the CNA program and then go into LVN. Just do it.
Yes, do it. Oh my
it.
gosh, if you need somebody to talk to while you're in Job Corps, make sure you hit me up. Follow me that's on TikTok or Facebook.
TikTok.
TikTok. I'm the real life plug. If you need somebody to talk to, you need to prepare for Job Corps, hit me up. I got you. I'm gonna hold you down. For real. Go ahead. Did you have another question on that?
To then bridge.
ADN is the administrator director of nursing.
Oh,
You talking about advanced training? Go to advanced training. But yeah, hit me up for real. I'm gonna do a video about that on my YouTube channel, Real Life Plug.
But I feel bridging into all these programs takes a lot more time than going to BSN. I suggest BSN because a lot of nurses have their BSN and they're doing really good. I've never really heard about an ADN, so that's why I asked.
Yeah. So bridge programs work if you want to get through the programs quickly because you know what you want your specialty to be. So at some point during your clinicals, when you're striving for your BSN, your phone's about to die. When you're striving for your BSN, the TikTok one.
Oh yeah, no, it still has some battery.
Okay, when you're striving for your BSN, like at some point in your clinicals, you decide what type of specialty you want, whether you want to be labor and delivery, PACU, ER, trauma, peds, like whatever your specialty is. If you're more so doing like a bridge program because you just want to hurry up and get your credentials or you have, whatever you want to do, that's a little bit different. Either way it goes, you have to invest the time. You either want to invest the time on the front end or the back end. So it really just, it's no quick way, it's no cheap way to do it. You just gotta do that shit.
They're like ADN is registered nurse, associate's degree in nursing is ADN.
Oh, okay.
And then bachelor's of nursing is BSN. Okay, I know the BSN. Can you do travel CNA with a misdemeanor?
It depends on what it is.
Yeah, they run a background check. So it depends on the agency and also depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too sure because I don't have a misdemeanor. You don't have one either?
No, I have a clean record.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure how that works.
And where you got the misdemeanor, it also matters too.
Yeah. I love being a travel CNA. I'm currently in North Dakota on contract. It's so cold up here. I was in South Dakota. I did not like South Dakota. I haven't been to North Dakota though.
They were so mean to her in South Dakota.
Oh, that's my friend.
Hey, friend.
I don't know his name, but his name is Dare Al-Slimy Kenny. Oh, his name is Kenny. He's cool. I like him. He's cool.
Hey, Kenny.
Will you always be a travel CNA instead of staff? I wouldn't. I don't know, because I don't want to be a CNA for the rest of my life. So, but travel CNA is pretty fun. Also, you can do like local contracts, which is a lot better than being like the actual staff, because the actual staff like gets more in trouble than the travelers. Because I remember they were trying to get me in trouble like the normal staff. I'll be like, I'm here to help. I'm not here to fix all your problems. These problems were here before I got here.
We are not fairies.
Yeah.
So one thing that I wanted to say, just going back to the earlier question about travel rates dropping, is that something that, a trend that we are seeing now are these 4-week contracts, which are actually per diem shifts combined into a contract that lasts 4 weeks. And can we get on the free game behind it? Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 4-week contracts, or rather the per diem shifts, basically the scheduler at a facility or a hospital lets the person, for all intents and purposes, let's say Ben owns a healthcare staffing agency and he has a contract with the hospital, and the hospital has their schedule a month out in advance. They'll call Ben and say, hey, you're our agency representative. We have 22 shifts that need staff this month or in the next 4 weeks. And then Ben will call his client specialist Sylvia, and then Sylvia will reach out to all of you wonderful people who have sent her your resume and want to be down with our gang, Cat Med Staff, you already know. And then she'll reach out to you and let you know what's available and see if you are available to work the shifts that have been provided. So those 4-week contracts are beginning to become a trend for spring 2022 for us travel CNAs. So if you see it, don't be like, oh, it's a scam. Or if your stipend is a smaller package, or if there is no stipend available, don't be like, I'm not taking that. Because you could really miss out on a really great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the 4-week contract, I would like to do a 4-week contract just to get the feel of it.
I do miss the field. I'm not gonna lie.
I do miss it.
I miss the field so much.
I miss my old people. They're so cute.
They're so cute. And for as long as I've been doing this, I should have been writing down the stories every day. I probably would have been a millionaire off my books by now, but still, it's not even about that. I just miss being around them. Like,
yeah,
they're so cute and old.
They like love you so much.
Unconditionally.
I heard there are 4-week programs. Yes, there are. I've met people that do their CNA program in like a month, 2-3 weeks, but probably it's a little bit harder to go into the field with just 4 weeks of learning.
For sure.
Yeah, because it's very different than learning and the thing. Because I did it for like 4 months. Because it was through school, so I had to do it for a semester. Mm-hmm. So I got a lot of knowledge and then did my clinicals and stuff. So it was pretty good. So I really liked it. But 4 weeks, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about that.
How long have you been doing it? I've been doing it for like 4 years.
I've been doing it for 10. I got a decade in the game. I'm an OG.
But colleges managed to stretch it for 8 months.
They do because they put them on like weekend schedules. So like they might come in Friday and Saturday, or like they might do Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and you have to add up all that time.
Yeah, because I would go to school, to my high school from like 10 to 12, because I had I graduated with extra credits. So I would go from 10 to 12, and then from like 1 to 4, I would do my CNA class, like Mondays and Wednesdays. No, I think Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Friday, I would have like a 6-hour class. And then that went on for like 3 months. And then every Tuesday and Thursday, it was like the teacher. And every Friday, she would have like a different representative. Somebody from the fire department, the police department, the nursing home, different nurses. So Friday was more like you get to meet the people that are actually in the medical field. I'm back. Bad reception up here. Oh,
hey Kenny.
Traveling, damn, that's awesome. I want to be a travel CNA, but I'm afraid certainly. I have been a CNA since 2007. I also did mine in high school.
What was the first one? They're afraid of what?
Of traveling.
They're afraid of traveling?
They're traveling, damn, that's awesome. I want to be a travel CNA, but I'm afraid of uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Is it a girl or boy?
It's a girl.
Girl, you better stop. What you talking about? Like, that's a part of the journey and a part of the adventure. Like, being a traveler is more than just making the money. Because if you're just after the money is going to come regardless of where you work. But a part of being a traveler is just like being in the moment, being spontaneous, like never knowing exactly what might come next, other than the fact that you gotta wipe ass the next day. Yeah. Other than that, every day is an adventure, like, and that shit is lit. But I understand it isn't for everybody though.
She's scared that she won't get a contract. That's how I was at first.
That's what we here for.
Yeah, I was scared that I wouldn't get a contract, but my recruiter, she would be like, okay, I have contracts over here. I remember she would send me email lists that had like 50 different contracts. And then I'll be like, I don't want to go here. And she'll be like, okay, let me reach out to other people. Contract if you know how to tell your recruiter. Or you can tell me and I'll get you a contract.
For sure.
I will find you one because I have contacts everywhere. We have contacts everywhere.
We're a part of a nurse-owned staffing agency that there are agencies all over all 50 states like that are specifically nurse-owned agencies. So we plugged in. We got connections.
What are you guys? We are CNAs and recruiters. So we do a little bit of both.
TikTokers and YouTubers.
Yeah,
so
we
make
do.
sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow, and what they do on TikTok, just follow.
Follow and share my videos.
For sure.
Kendra, I've always been traveling going on 2 years now. I've always been able to find a contract. Look, listen to Kenny. Kenny has always been able to find a contract.
And Kendra, once you find your first contract, it's going to be really simple to, well, not really simple, but it'll be a little bit easier to find your next contract because then you start to learn the different tips, tools, and trades to being a travel CNA. Also, make sure you join some of the travel groups on Facebook. That is what helps a lot.
Finding the right contract is the struggle. It is.
Yes, it is. Typically, your first contract is not going to seem like the right contract. It's going to be a little bit rocky. You're going to have 50,000 questions. You're going to want to talk to your recruiter all the time because nobody else in your life is understanding what's going on other than your recruiter and now us. So make sure you sign up to talk with us on what is it? CNAunit.com.
No, it's catmedstaff.com.
catmedstaff.com. You can sign up to talk with us and just get some of those initial worries out of the way. Even if you're on the road and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. Girl, just schedule that. We here for you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you. We'll comfort you because it's scary going to your first contract.
It is.
Especially out of state. Oh my God, it's so scary.
My first contract was like 40 minutes away from my house and I was still scared.
I know mine was like an hour.
And I still went home every day. I was still scared. Okay, but so guys, now we're going to get into the part of the live where we talk about how to actually prepare for a interview or an interview with a travel CNA recruiter.
So what you have to do is basically sell yourself. It's like if you're selling something, but you have to sell yourself to the facility. Mm-hmm. So they hire you.
And you want to sound like you're very confident in what you're doing because understand that these contracts, we get paid what we get paid because there's a staffing shortage. There's a need in the facility that we can fulfill or we're supposed to be able to fulfill. Not just because they paying you a whole bunch of money. They paying you that money because you got to work in some conditions that are not always ideal, but they are manageable. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. Most of the time, hopefully.
So, like one question they usually ask, I remember in my interviews, they'll be like, hey, is this Sylvia? And I'll be like, oh yeah. They're like, oh, your recruiter sent your resume over here and that you want to work with us. So why should we hire you? And I would be like, you should hire me because I pick up shifts. I do all my work. I am very good. I am experienced. For like the first contract, it was a little bit harder because I was not experienced in travel CNA. So it was like I'm very cooperative. I do everything. I'm not afraid to ask for help. And I just had to sell myself. The contract I'm on now is probably the best one I've done so far. We have 13 residents. That must be so nice.
Yes.
Making 30 an hour, 50 overtime. My stipend is only 140 though.
I mean, but that's good though. What is that, 30 an hour and 50 OT? Mm-hmm. That's good though because you can knock that what is it, 36, 40 hours at until you get your OT. And then you can knock that out in your first 3 days and then get your 50 an hour, work a 12. Work a 12 or a 16 your last 2 days of the week.
Yeah, so
that's good.
Yeah, so when you're doing an interview, you kind of have to sell yourself. And I'm like, oh, I like to work, so I'll pick up shifts. And you can't lie, because once you get there, they're gonna expect you to pick up shifts. So my favorite shift was night shift, because it was the easiest shift. It was the only hard part was staying up, but it was the easiest shift. I would find stuff to do. I would do all the stuff clean my wheelchairs, and I hated they would make me clean wheelchairs. Yes,
I can't relate. Never have I ever. They tried to, but I was not with that shit.
I cleaned them like once, and I'll be like, "This is a joke." And then I would restock. That was like my favorite part, like restocking, because I would have to organize everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I have OCD, so I would like color coordinate everything. And then it would take me like half of the night, and then the nurse would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "My residents are being changed. I'm answering my colleagues. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself."
For sure. My favorite shift to work is 3 to 11. That's what I came in the field on, and that's what I'm leaving the field on, 3 to 11. I do not like day shift. I do not like 11 to 7. I do not like 7A to 7P. I do not like 7P to 7A, 3 to 11. Now, if I get in real cool with the scheduler, I could probably bust out like a 10 a.m. to 11. I could probably do like a mid-morning until the end of the night. But other than that, 3 to 11.
Yeah, like me, to work weekends, to work day shift, I'll be like, put me on a weekend or put me on a holiday that management is not there. If management is there, I will not pick up a day shift. I would refuse to pick up day shifts if management was there. And I remember one time on a weekend, there had to be 2 CNAs, but there was only one. So they were like, "Sylvia, can you stay over?" So I was like, "Shoot, let me pull off a 16." So I stayed till 10 just to help her get up the residents for breakfast. Because after you get them up for breakfast, like, they're perfectly fine.
Over.
Yeah, like, they're perfectly fine. So I just helped her get them up and helped her feed. And then I left. But management wasn't there, so I was like, yes, I'll help. But if management was there, I'll be like, no, I'm gonna head out.
I don't think so.
Because I don't got the time or energy to be arguing with a nurse, with management, the DON looking for me. Because I don't know why people had so many issues with me. The administrator would wait till I showed up. Like, your shift ended at 4. She would wait 2 hours for me. I remember one time she called me. She's like, "We need to have a meeting." And I was like, "About what?" "Oh, because this person had a problem with you." And I was like, it's freaking noon. I have to work tonight. I'm not coming in. I was like, "You can either wait for me at 6 and we can have the meeting then, or we're not having a meeting." She waited till 6, and then she told me that a nurse had a problem with me. And I was like, "Okay, well, what was the problem?" "Over something stupid." And I was like, "Let me tell you what kind of problems I have with that nurse." And then I never got in trouble. Where is your new contract? I'm trying to get a contract in Modesto, California, because I heard that there are openings. So I'm trying to see if I can go. So if you guys want to come to Modesto, just hit me up and we can see if we can go. There's 13 residents, all hella call-lights, happy. Oh, he has younger residents. I've noticed that in like North Dakota and South Dakota, since they're like low population states, they have, like the one I worked at, it was a rehab facility, a physical therapy facility, an alcoholic rehab facility. They had drug addicts that were in rehab.
Oh, this was a rehab.
Yeah, and then they had like 7 old people, like 7 actual residents. And I would have to deal with all these other people. And I would be like, never gonna do anything. I'm never gonna drink and stuff, because it's scary. You see like 35-year-olds in there. I remember I had like one that was like 40, and she could not move because how much she would drink. And then she like would freak out because we wouldn't give her alcohol. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't." Have you ever worked at hospitals? I did work at one. I got hit with a book.
I thought you were gonna say a bus. I'm like, damn.
I wish. I got hit with a book because the lady was fighting with her husband, and I think It was med-surg, and we had to like monitor her baby, and they got in an argument. So the nurse was like, "Hey, can you go check in?" And I was like, "Sure." So the security guard is coming with me. I opened the door and I was like, "Hey," I go in, and like the book just hits my head. And then the security guard like moves me out of the room and takes the person out. They're like, "Sir, you need to leave." I went home. They called in somebody else to like put ice in my head. They're like, "Let me make sure you're okay." What do you prefer, hospitals or working with residents?
Residents! Give me a nursing home any day. 3 to 11. Let's get it.
Yeah, residents. Because hospitals, you deal with younger people as well. So the younger people are more needy. Then they're like, "Oh, I know you can do this."
Because they know we got to do that shit.
Because they know what we have to do. So they're like, call. "Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that." Especially the Karens. So nursing homes are easier because the residents, they just chill. I just hate when their family members go and they're like, "Oh, well, my sister used to be a CNA before she was a nurse, and I know what CNAs are supposed to do." Okay, well, your mom doesn't like peanut butter anymore. You haven't seen her in a year.
Those be the ones. I know what my mama like. No, you don't. No, you don't. I've been here for a year. I've never seen you here. Your mama don't even have no pictures of you up on her little armoire. I don't even know who you are. Why are you up here? But let me tell you something. Your mother does not like that shit. Maybe she liked it before. Maybe she liked it before the stroke. But I'm telling you, as of today and the past year that I've been here, she don't like that shit. You don't know her. You don't know her.
They change in a year.
They change every day. Like, they're like kids.
Yes.
They're big ass, old ass kids. They change every single day. And unfortunately, more often than not in a nursing home, it's, a decline in their health and not so much, growth or enhancement of life. But y'all, we're going to do like this little skit and show you how you should talk to your recruiter or your potential recruiter when you do an interview. What somebody say?
You guys are wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you for all that you do. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Lori.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Road to 1K, road to 15K.
She's giving me a hard time.
Who's giving you a hard time?
The CNA instructor. My instructor would give me a hard time too.
I had the best instructor.
Really? I hated mine so much. I had two. I remember the first semester, I loved my instructor. Then the second one, I hated her so much. She was so mean to me. I was the only Hispanic in the class. So maybe that's why she did not like me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was she black?
No, she was white.
Oh.
So she was
how
like,
I feel about them right now.
So she was like very mean to me. And then she would like try to tell me that I was dumb and stuff. Like, girl,
look at you now though.
Look at me now.
But let me say this to you, young lady in the class, right? A coach is not going to waste their time on a player that they know can't play. Look at Sylvia now. Like, this girl has been everywhere. She's done more in your 4 years as a CNA than I've done. She's like, well, I'd be shocked by some of her stories. And maybe I just been working so long I can't remember that shit. But she's done a lot of shit. So your instructor is not just on your ass just because it's fun and, it feels good for her to do that shit. It might. But just take it that she sees the potential in you to become more than what you see yourself currently as.
Yeah. I hate working with what? I can't read. What is that word?
Condescending.
Seasoned CNAs that tries to micromanage me like she knows the best.
They be the ones, ma'am. You've been here for 30 fucking years. Why are you micromanaging me? I'm 20 years old, wiping ass. You fucking 55 years old. Please go check on your patient and get out my face. Go finish your charting because you can't see because you're old. Go do that shit. Get out my face. Whew. I love this podcast. It lets me get a lot of pent up, compartmentalized anger out.
Oh, the girl's like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Oh, you're welcome.
How do you start being a travel CNA? So yes.
Wait, we gotta do our skit.
I know we could do, but people are asking questions.
They are, but we gotta do the skit. We only got like 20 minutes. And your phone is about to die. You didn't put it on low power.
Just like, go off. Because you were like, look. How do we become travel CNAs? You just gotta apply. Like right now, smaller agencies is the way to go because bigger agencies are just focused on RNs right now because the RNs are the ones that make the most money. The smaller agencies, they're the ones who are focused on CNAs. So it's better to go with a smaller agency because they will actually take care of you and worry about you instead of a bigger agency that your recruiter will reach out to you once a day. Okay, so now we're gonna do our interview questions because a lot of people ask me, they're like, so how do you do your interview questions?
Okay.
So I'm gonna interview Chrissy.
She's.
I'm gonna play with you guys. Oh, thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
How did you do your skills? I'm sorry, I'm taking up your skit time.
No, it's okay. What's the question? I don't think they can hear you on YouTube. You gotta read louder.
How did you do your skills and not get nervous? My skills, it is nervous because like the ladies like right next to you, like you'll be doing something and they'll be like this.
Breathing down your neck like, the wheels are lowered and locked.
Like,
Literally me.
lock the wheels. You have to like say everything, which is so weird.
So actually, in the middle of me taking my skills assessment, I had a whole panic attack. And it was like one of my first panic attacks. I didn't know what it was. But the lady just was like super nice and super sweet. And the person that was my partner for the test, because we went in 2 at a time. If the Job Corps girl is still watching, we go in 2 at a time to take the skills assessment. So I was like freaking out. It was something so simple like giving a bed bath with like a modified arm or whatever that skill is called. You feel me? I forgot to say, please fill the water. So I start putting the water on him and I start freaking out. I was like, oh my God! I forgot to ask you, was the water okay? I'm gonna fail. And it just goes from 0 to 1,000,000 so fast. I'm sweating. My partner is trying to calm me down. The teacher trying to calm me down. Just think of, if you got kids, think of it like you washing your kid. If you got a mama, think like your mama is sick and you're trying to get her better. You got a pet and his paw is broke. Think like you're trying to get the pet better. Just take a deep breath though. Don't overthink it. And just say everything out loud. It's cool. You can mess up and you'll still pass.
Yeah. I had to practice a test today and I accidentally wiped down instead of up and she was like, you're down.
Put it on low power.
I don't know how to do that.
It said it right there. Low power.
Oh,
It was an option. That's what it said. Low power or close. And you hit the close.
Okay. Okay, I think we should do a skit now before my phone dies.
Yes, let's do the skits now, guys. Okay. You should not do. Okay, so I'm gonna come in.
Where are you going?
This is how we're gonna do it.
Oh. Chrissy, come in.
Hey, what's good? My name Chrissy. What's good with you, shorty? I'm up in this piece trying to get this job for real. I heard y'all was hiring. I'm trying to be a CNA. Little track. I'm already CNA. You already feel me. I already got my little scrubs on for real. Cause got 'em or whatever. But we can't make this too long because my kid's in the car and I'm double parked. So what's good?
Okay, are you Chrissy Dillard?
No, I'm the real life plug. You don't follow me on social media. You know who I am.
No. Okay. Okay, well, let's continue. So, how long have you been a CNA?
I've been a CNA for like, alright, so I started out taking care of people in my grandmama's house, you feel me, like the little ladies at the church. I was doing that since I was like 10. Then, when I graduated high school, I went to Job Corps for real because I got my diploma first. Don't try to play with me. I went to City, look at the brain, peep. So then when I graduated high school, I went to Job Corps for real, and I was in there for like a year, you feel me? Like, I was getting all the money, getting all the points. I was in there for a year. So that's like I'm gonna just say like 5 for real. 5.
Okay, that's good.
So what y'all paying?
So for starting off CNA, since you have 5 years, we usually pay our new CNA 16 an hour. Since you have 5 years, we'll offer you 18.
So like how y'all figure out this? Because 5 years, that should be like $1 every year, right? Like $15, 5 years, $5, $20, right? Where y'all get 18 from? Cause down the street they starting off at $19.50. So y'all got like the little price match. Y'all do that like Walmart?
Yeah, we can do a price match. Have they hired you in the other facility?
Yeah, it's actually my part-time job, which is why I need to go drop my kids off, take them to daycare so I can go hit up my overnight shift. So y'all gonna hire me or what?
So the interview I see is going pretty good.
Oh, you think this is going pretty good?
So we can give you a call back. I just need to talk to my other teammates, the administrator, and
No. I ain't trying to talk to nobody else. You the one that sent me the email. You the one that called me. I'm sitting here talking to you right now. I wanna put me on.
Okay, well, we still need to do a drug test.
I'm gonna ask y'all, do y'all drug test? Because this California though, like, we should be legal though, right? Like,
well, not in nursing homes, but we'll have you to get the drug test and stuff. So
this is my vape. I can vape in here.
No, because we have residents around and there's oxygen everywhere.
I'm not lighting up no fire though. This vape.
Okay, well, we need you to. I need you to get out. Get the fuck out of my facility. Hello, no, big red flag.
Okay, so now Sylvia is going to demonstrate how you should do an interview.
Okay, you're my interviewer.
Okay. Are you gonna knock on the door?
No, we can just.
Okay.
Since it's a phone call.
Oh, it's a phone call. Oh, I thought we was in person.
No, because you know how the interviews are usually phone calls.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was how to interview, not to interview for a facility. I don't know why I did all that. I forgot. Okay. Pick up your phone.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Chrissy. I'm calling from CAT Med Staff. I'm looking for Sylvia Rodriguez.
This is her.
Is now a good time for you to speak?
Yes, it is.
Great. So we had an interview scheduled for 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. I was wondering if you were still interested in the position with CAT Med Staff.
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So let's get a little bit of information from you. First of all, let me find out where you're calling from today.
San Francisco, California.
California. I hear it's pretty beautiful this time of year.
Yes, it is.
Great. And are you licensed in the state of California?
No, I just sent in my application.
You just sent in your application? Okay, great. Let me take some notes. And now, would you like to tell me a little bit about the how many years experience you have as a CNA?
So I have 4 years of experience as a CNA and a year and a half. A year and a half of travel CNA.
Mm-hmm. And what states have you traveled to?
Colorado, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, South Dakota, and Michigan.
Wow, sounds like you've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
Great. And now, would you mind telling me a little bit about some of those facilities? Were they mostly long-term care, short-term, rehabilitation, LTACs, hospitals? Give me the tea.
So they were all long-term facilities, except for the South Dakota one. I don't know what that one was. Okay. I had residents, but also had patients with alcohol issues. Mm-hmm. I had residents that were like 30. So I don't know if it was a mixture, but I've only worked in nursing homes that are long-term.
Okay, and could you tell me a little bit about the patient to staff ratio in those facilities?
I'm used to working a patient like the ratio of 8 to 1, but most facilities they had me doing like 15 to 1. think the max I've ever did was 40 to 1.
Wow, 40 to 1. That sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so how did you handle that night?
I just started off really early. As if I could help, if I would ask for help anytime I saw anybody, I would ask them for help. And some of them did help, some of them didn't. So I just tried my best to get everybody done as soon as I could, but I just stayed calm, and I would just try my hardest to run around and do everything, and the nurse would help me most of the time when she wasn't busy.
Okay, great. That sounds really good. So you sound like a pretty good candidate for Cat Med staff. And I remember you saying at the beginning of the conversation you were waiting on your California license to come through, but you are licensed in several other states. So what I can do at this time is connect you with some of the other nurse-owned staffing agencies in my network and find the best agency that can get you started traveling immediately. How does that sound to you?
It sounds good.
Okay, great. So I just need you to fill out our official application and we will get you started traveling ASAP.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Sylvia.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, y'all, so
So you just gotta sound confident, and if you've been a travel CNA, that makes it a lot easier. And especially with facilities, like some facilities are hard to work at. Especially, I usually go through the reviews, and one thing I do, I don't know if other people do, I have like a weird thing, Chrissy makes fun of me, is that every state I go to in the town, I have to make sure they have a Walmart there. Out of all things, Chrissy's like, out of all things that you have to search, you have to make sure they have a Walmart. Because when I was in South Dakota, Walmart was an hour away. That was literally like a living hell. I did not even want to work in South Dakota. My recruiter, she sent my resume over and she was like, okay, you have a contract there. And I was like, no, I'm good. Well, there's no other contracts. I should have just left her right there. But no, I went to South Dakota. And then I would try to pick up shifts, but every time I would pick up a shift, I would go to work and then the nurse was really mean to me. And I'll be like, I picked up this shift. I'm not even supposed to be here. And I'll be like, I can go home right here, right now. And then one thing they will try to do is overwork the travelers so they don't overwork their staff. But you gotta know how to defend yourself. I remember one time they wanted me to do like 40 to 1 patient, while the other side had like 30 patients and 2 CNAs. I went up to the DON and I was like, I'm not doing this all by myself. I was like, you're not overworking me. I'm here to help. I'm not here to run the whole facility. That's why you either send one of your girls over here or you trade me spots, because I'm not doing this. And she decided to argue with me and I was like, okay, let me call my recruiter, tell her to cancel my contract, and I will be out. I'll be on my way out. Yeah, and she fixed the problem right away, because I told her that I would cancel my contract. So I was like, the way that you gotta like make the DONs listen to you, because sometimes they'll try to take advantage of you. I had a DON once tell me, she's like, hey, you have to clean the COVID unit, because I was working the COVID unit. So she was like, you need to clean all the rooms. And I was like, in my contract, I read that I had to do CNA jobs. I never read the housekeeping jobs. But unless you're gonna do my CNA pay and put the housekeeping pay on top, I'll do all that. She was like, well, all the CNAs do it. I was like, not me. I'm a traveler. Your CNAs can do it, but not me. And then she was trying to argue with me. I was like, let me call my recruiter and tell her if this is okay. She was like, no, don't worry about it. Yeah, you can clean the room yourself, not me. So you just gotta be rude sometimes. They do try to take advantage. I have worked with 30 plus patients before. Yes, me too. It's horrible. Working with so many patients by yourself. It's so hard. It's so tiring.
the first time I had to work with like over 20 patients in one night, I was ready to quit the whole field. I was ready to throw away the whole the whole certification, everything. And that was way before I had even became a travel CNA, which is why we say, you know, it really helps to have 1 year's experience as a CNA, because 6 months you're still a rookie. You haven't even seen anything yet, and I'm telling you, like, in 6 months, it's no way possible you are going to be ready to be on a travel assignment, because you're just not. You're not.
Because you see different things. Oh, it's horrible. You see residents that, I don't know, I had a resident that every time I would turn her skin would peel off. And then one day she like bit this whole part of her hand off. There was blood everywhere. And it was in her mouth, so I was like fighting with her to take it out of her mouth. I was like, you can't eat your own skin. So I was trying so hard to take it out of her mouth. So I pressed like the emergency button. The nurse showed up. He's like, why is there blood everywhere? I was like, look at her hand. So all of this was like missing. And then he was like, oh no. And he's like, where is it? I was like, it's in her mouth. We were fighting with her till we got it out of her mouth.
Literally, my gag reflexes. I cannot. Somebody asked you a question.
Oh, for AM shift to 12-hour days. Are you guys hiring at your guys' agency?
For AM shift to 12-hour days, it depends on where you're licensed, honestly.
Yeah, but if you want to shoot me an email, my email's in my bio, and we can talk about what states you're certified and where you want to go and all that stuff. So my phone's about to die. California
and
and
she has to
Nevada.
do some prereqs for her Modesto.
My Modesto contract.
Yeah. So right before you get ready to take a contract, there's a whole lot of running around that you have to do. TB test, physical. Now you got to get the
COVID vaccine. I'm gonna go get my booster right after this.
all types of stuff. So, yeah. So you got to get that done too.
So if you want to send me an email, we can talk about this, and I'll give you some more information. So I gotta head out to go get my booster. But I'll see you guys next time. And bye.
Bye. Facebook, it has been real. Make sure y'all are sharing this live and adding more people to the group. We grew from 192 in December to where are we now?
2.6.
2.6K. Keep sharing, keep adding it up, keep running it up. And we out on Facebook. Cousins, Kim folks, this has been another episode of the Lifeline Travel CNA Podcast. If you like this type of content, please make sure you are liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the content. We are still on the road to 1K by 5/14, 1K by my birthday. Please make that happen for me. And if you don't get to watch the video when it's happening live, I leave the videos up indefinitely, so you can always come back and watch. So until next time, peace, love, and blessings.
Bye.
We're still out.
Alicia's the only one that watched our live on Facebook group.